Alright, so today I'm back with another Blue Lock leak video, and today we will go over chapter 292, which I know I'm saying every week, but this week it was actually wild as it was like a battle royale between the players, and both Isagi and Kaiser were close to getting their chance to shine. However, I do think that the ending is growing closer and closer, but I don't want to say too much, so you will just have to sit back and watch to find out what happens. Anyway, before jumping into it, please leave a like and a comment, as well as join the Discord server. Also, if you want to check out the leaks for yourself, then I will put a link down in the comments where you can look at them. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Alright, so we start this chapter off with the beginning text saying, "Can't yield, won't yield." All of the egoists go full throttle to steal the goal, and then we see Kaiser bashing his whole body into Rin's to try and stop him a bit while saying that Rin is already betting everything on destroying his and Isagi's connection. However, Kaiser looks locked into the max as he tries to do everything to get Rin away, as he says that if they don't overcome his desires, there'll be no goal. But now, if him and Isagi get separated, it's all over. He looks to Isagi on his side, and then to Hiori, who currently has the ball, and says that by judging where the last passer will be, however, he doesn't finish his sentence. As Isagi already thought the same thing, as Isagi starts to sprint ahead of Kaiser on the field. Kaiser says that it's right, and then he says that in this cross run, they're gonna disturb Rin and scatter his sight, saying that it's best to get to the goal without worrying which one of them he's gonna destroy. After that, Kaiser leaves Rin, and Isagi decides to fall back a bit, so that Rin is in between them. Kaiser looks over to Isagi, who's currently going insane, and Kaiser says that luck will come to the one not targeted by Rin, saying that even without words, they came to the same conclusion, thinking that they're linking on a mind level. He compliments Isagi for being in the ideal spot, and then after the glaze he realizes that this is simply football with Isagi as he's the GOAT. Anyway, after that, they start to run in front of Rin in almost a 6-sax pattern. Hopefully you understand, it's quite hard to explain. Anyway, as they are beginning to leave Rin in the dust, Kaiser says that it's interesting, and that with this one goal, he himself will go towards the next level. But then we leave those two for a while, as we instead go to the lost magician who's behind them. He looks lost and betrayed as he says that he isn't needed anymore. He thinks back to when Kaiser told him to simply give up on soccer, and then he thinks to Isagi, saying that he stole Kaiser from him, really acting like a crazy ex right now. Anyway, it gets dark around him, and he thinks about what to do. He thinks back to his and Kaiser's somewhat wholesome moments in the academy, and wonders if he also has to renew himself and become someone new. He then thinks back to his first memory with Kaiser, and he says that at that moment, Kaiser put a spell on him and said that it was the beginning of them. But then, in the panel we can see that some sort of aura is starting to emerge around Ness, and he looks to get angrier and angrier. We get to the next panel where we see his aura adapting more, and it's like fireballs around him. Ness then says that if Kaiser is telling him that he doesn't need Ness anymore, and that he wants Kaiser to become new, then he will do just that, he will become new. His eyes starts to fire up, and he looks super intense as he says goodbye to Kaiser. He takes another step, and here is where his aura goes full insane mode, as it's all around him now, as he doesn't only say goodbye to Kaiser, but he also said goodbye to the version of Ness who believed in becoming the world's best, alongside Kaiser. Under Ness we see Hiori and Karasu going a bit back and forth, with Hiori trying to get around Karasu, but Karasu blocking him to a T. Karasu asks Hiori if that's all he's got, but Hiori then looks intense as his meta vision eyes comes out, and he tells Karasu to just try and steal it. He looks over at both Isagi and Kaiser, and saying that they are in range, and that all that's left is for the perfect timing to come. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? After that we see Rin, who's managed to once again get some solid ground on both Isagi and Kaiser, and is kinda sandwiched in between them. He looks intensely at both of them, and says that marking Kaiser and Isagi alone, one will without a doubt break out. And this makes Rin realize that he has to gamble on destroying either one of them. And just as he says that, we see Hiori, who says that now's the time, and he does a crazy move as he firstly stops the ball, then passes it a bit up and sprint to it, basically a smaller version of what Chigiri did in the first selection. And Hiori's play just leaves Karasu in pure awe as he couldn't believe it. After that, Rin has gotten his tongue out, and he says that here he comes, but wonders if the pass will go to either Isagi or Kaiser. However, we already know who he's gonna go and crash out on, as he slams his body into Isagi while telling him that he is the one that Rin wants to destroy. Isagi just calls him a beast as he looks annoyed that Rin went towards Isagi. But Rin actually tricked himself, as Hiori starts to smile and tells Kaiser to go, as the pass wasn't to Isagi but to Kaiser this whole time. Kaiser has his eyes practically glued to the ball as he just says luck. But then to prolong this game even more, Shido comes by Kaiser's side with an furious aura around himself, as he tells Kaiser that he already have seen through it, saying that Rin didn't target Kaiser, so Shido had to take up that job and go and hunt Kaiser down. Kaiser tries to reach the ball, however Shido reached it before, and he says bad luck as he heads away the ball from Kaiser. Both Kaiser and Isagi now looks in shock as they are just staring at the ball, wondering what is going to happen. But then we see Charles, who's got a big grin on his face, and compliments them before telling Rin and Shido to go on a killer counter. But his annoying grin is soon gonna fade away as the dark horse Kunigami comes and tells him not yet while calling him a damn brat. We then obviously see Kunigami, who looks super locked in as he jumps towards the ball and sends it away with a header, which makes the ball fly high up into the sky. While he headed the ball, he said that he's still here and is leaving his destiny. Isagi is a bit surprised to see Kunigami here, but he's happily surprised as he says hero. However, then we see that the ball is in the air, and Rin and Kaiser both looks furious as they are staring at the ball. However, we also see Isagi, who's gone into his god mode and looks absolutely wild. We also see Yukimiya, who's coming closer and closer to the ball, and I first thought that he was Ness, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure you can see his glasses anyway. The ending text says that the decisive ball is in the air. Who will be the egoist to reach out for the future? Also, luckily there's no break next week, which means that we just have to hold out for 1 week more, and the next chapter will be called Birth of a New Hero. Now that's massive, as it could mean so many different things, and let's go over what I think that it could mean. Now the most obvious guess would be that the title is referring to Ness, as in this chapter, he had his whole awakening with his aura coming out, and him renewing himself and giving up on his dream with Kaiser to become his own man. But in the last panel of this chapter, he's nowhere to be seen. I then thought that it could mean about Yukimiya making the assist to Isagi, as he gave Yukimiya the assist in the Manshine City game. But the title wouldn't really fit him, as he's already somewhat off a hero and wouldn't need to be rebirthed. This means, however, that it will most likely be Ness who somehow reaches the ball, and then he passes to Isagi, because in this last panel we see him going into his god mode, which I personally feel like it's a big indicator that he will be the one to score. Now it's far from confirmed, but that's just my guess. But with that said, I also do think that the goal will happen in the next chapter, because they can't drag this out anymore, as every comment I see is talking about how this is just being dragged out and that they are losing interest. So, for the greater good, I do feel like it will end in the next chapter with a goal, and I also feel like the title is very fitting to be a goal chapter. And as I said earlier, I have to bet on my boy Isagi being the one to seal off this final game, as, let's be honest, it's definitely not PXG scoring the last goal now. That would just be weird. And if they give Rin another power-up, then they are for real just dragging it. Now Ness had his awakening, and you could guess that he might want to try and score his own goal, which I feel like there's an opportunity for that. But I wouldn't really be a fan of it, as Ness is a passer at the end of the day, and not a goal scorer. But anyway, please tell me in the comments what you think will happen in the next chapter. Do you think that there will be a goal or not? And who do you think will score it? Please tell me, as I'm super interested. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.